Okay, here's a really important concept that you need to understand to figure out what we're going to be doing in this class. Some companies make a product that they sell to consumers. These might be restaurants or Amazon. Other companies make a product that they sell to other businesses. And when you're a company that does that, you are a business-to-business company. Your customers are companies. Most students don't think about business-to-business opportunities or pursue companies that do that kind of thing because they've never been in a business. They don't understand what companies do or how they work. And to me, I see that as a shame because you're kind of being shut out of this whole set of opportunities that, in my opinion, are actually more interesting and better. So in this class, we kind of force you to look at these business-to-business opportunities because it's something that you might not have known about otherwise. And I want you to understand why I think that these are potentially more interesting opportunities. So the first thing to understand is that all companies care about the bottom line. And when we say bottom line, we're talking about net income. So companies make sales, revenue, and then they pay a bunch of expenses out, and then what's left at the end is net income. All companies everywhere care about that. And they attempt to maximize that bottom line by making plans for how to do it. And those plans are called budgets. So down to the individual line item and departments, depending on the size of the company, every company has a budget. They set aside money that they need to spend to do their work. And if you can understand what those budgets look like, you can figure out what the company is going to spend money on. For public companies, you can actually see the budgets. You can see the income statements and you can see how much money they make, how much money they spend, and on what they spend it on. You can see in this random quarter, Apple had $164 billion in revenue and they spent $95 billion. They had a gross profit of $69 billion. So if you're able to solve a problem for Apple to make something that makes their business more profitable, you can charge a lot of money because the numbers are really big. That's one reason that I think that business-to-business opportunities are a little more interesting. The problem is that as a student, it's really intimidating to figure out, well, how am I going to go sell something to Apple? Apple is this big place. I'm just a student. And here's the bridge that we try to get you across in this class. Apple is just made up of people. And those people have friends, they have relatives, they go to work every day and they have things on their minds. And in many cases, you can get in touch with these people. You can talk to them either through contacts or your network or just by cold calling them or cold emailing them. You can find out who they are and you can get in touch with them and talk to them. And that's a big part of what we do in this class because each of those people has a job to do and they make rational bottom line decisions for the most part. So if you can increase the revenue or decrease the cost that they see, they have money to spend on those types of solutions. And it's enough money so that if you get one yes, and it's say $100,000 or $200,000 or $1 million, that would be enough to validate your idea that you're onto the right track. When I first started doing student advising, I saw a lot of the same types of companies. There were a lot of t-shirt companies. There are a lot of apps to skip the line at Rick's. And I remember one time somebody told me they made an app to figure out what meals you could make with the ingredients that are left in the refrigerator. And they did it because their roommate had been stealing their milk. And I remember thinking, gosh, you're going to try to charge your roommate who steals your milk $1.99 for an app. And when I contrast that with selling something for a couple $100,000 to a rational buyer that has money, it seemed to me a disservice to allow the students in this class to continue trying to come up with these ideas to sell $1.99 apps to their roommates when this whole world of opportunity is available to them. And the people inside of businesses really value a young person's perspective. You're tech savvy, you bring a fresh perspective. And so in this class, even though it might feel constraining at some times, we're going to force you to talk to companies, focus on business-to-business opportunities. You might choose later on to go back and pursue a business-to-consumer idea, which is totally fine. A lot of big companies are built that way. But in this course, we focus on business-to-business opportunities, and that's why. So while there are great B2C opportunities, and so as we get going in the semester, I just want to head that question off before we get started. That's why we're looking at B2B opportunities. If you have any questions about that, hit me up on Slack or talk to me on Zoom. See you soon.